We always talk about the big names, like, the icons of bodybuilding's golden era.
Yeah.
But today we're going to dive deep into a story that's maybe a little less talked about,
Okay.
but incredibly impactful in its own right.
All right.
We're talking about Franco Columbu.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Franco Columbu.
Yeah, he was way more than just Arnold Schwarzenegger's training partner, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This guy was a straight-up phenomenon known for just raw power.
Yeah.
And this, like, incredibly dense physique, almost like granite.
Yeah, if you look at pictures of him, it's just unbelievable how dense he was.
So today we're going to use this YouTube documentary transcript
Okay.
to try to understand what made Franco Columbu so exceptional.
Yeah, I think that's a great goal because he really is an interesting figure in bodybuilding history.
Yeah, so we're going to unpack like all the key moments in his life, his ambitions, his drive, and just that incredible force of will that really seemed to define him.
It sounds like a fascinating deep dive for sure.
Yeah, and think of this as like your fast track to really understanding Franco Columbu. We're going to pull out the essential parts.
Yeah.
Explore all his achievements and hopefully connect some dots that might surprise you.
Yeah. I'm always up for some surprises.
Because you probably know him as a bodybuilder, right?
Right.
Or maybe an actor.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to his story.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking bodybuilding champion, world-class power lifter, even a chiropractor.
Wow. A chiropractor. That's interesting.
Yeah. So let's get into it.
Okay.
So Franco Columbu, his full name was Francesco Maria Columbu,
Oh, okay.
was born on August 7th, 1941 in Sardinia, Italy.
Beautiful place.
Now, it's interesting to think about his background, right? His parents, Maria Graia and Antonio Columbu, were shepherds.
Shepherds. Wow. So a very rural upbringing.
Yeah. And the documentary talks about how his early life, had its share of challenges.
You imagine so, yeah.
But it also says that it instilled in him like this remarkable strength of character and just this unwavering determination to succeed.
That makes sense. I mean, that kind of lifestyle could definitely build that in you.
Yeah. And, it's not just about physical strength. It was his deep-seated drive that really pushed him forward across all these different fields.
It's almost like that shepherd background, being out in nature, working hard. Maybe it gave him this kind of baseline strength that he was able to tap into later on.
It's a really fascinating thought.
It is.
And speaking of early pursuits, before bodybuilding, before he was an icon,
Yeah.
Franco was actually a boxer.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he became the amateur boxing champion of Italy.
Can you imagine that physique in the ring?
I know. It's hard to picture.
Those punches must have been devastating.
Yeah, and there's this great quote from Franco in the transcript.
Okay.
He says, "I was always skinny until I was 11. I got beat up a lot. Then one day I started beating people up. Nobody could touch me."
Wow. That's pretty powerful.
Right. And think about this. He was working as a shepherd while he was training as a boxer.
So juggling two incredibly demanding things at the same time.
Yeah. Talk about discipline.
Absolutely.
And he won over 30 amateur fights before he switched to weightlifting and bodybuilding.
So he was clearly successful as a boxer. Why the switch?
Well, the documentary says he felt that boxing was just too rough on his face and head.
Makes sense. You don't want to damage that handsome face.
And he also said that boxing is a great sport, but it's really, really tough.
Yeah, it's a brutal sport.
So it seems like it wasn't a lack of success, but more like a strategic decision to pursue something that he felt would be better for him in the long run.
Yeah, thinking about his future.
Exactly. And that leads us to the early 1960s, a major turning point.
Okay.
Franco immigrates to the United States to really chase those bodybuilding dreams.
So he's leaving everything he knows to pursue this passion.
Yeah, and it didn't take him long to make an impact.
I bet.
He quickly establishes himself as a top bodybuilder, and he earns this awesome nickname.
Oh, I love the nicknames they had back then.
The Sardinian Samson.
Oh, that's fantastic. It really fits him.
Right.
Really captures that strength and power.
Yeah. And, the U.S. in the 60s was becoming like a real hub for bodybuilding.
Yeah,
right?
that's when the whole fitness culture started to really take off.
Exactly. There are all these new opportunities emerging. It was a really exciting time.
A perfect time for someone like Franco to arrive on the scene.
And it was in this environment that he crossed paths with another legend.
Who are we talking about?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Of course, the two of them together. What a duo.
So they met at a bodybuilding competition in Stuttgart, Germany on October 31st, 1965.
Halloween.
Yeah. And the documentary actually mentions that in 2016, they celebrated the 51st anniversary of that meeting.
Wow. So a friendship that lasted over 5 decades.
Yeah, it was a real partnership that stood the test of time.
It wasn't just a fleeting moment. They really built something special together.
They were rivals, but also each other's biggest supporters.
It's like that saying, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, exactly.
They pushed each other to be better.
So let's talk about some of Franco's stats in his prime.
Okay, I'm ready for some impressive numbers.
So competition weight, around 185 pounds.
Okay.
Standing at 5'5" tall.
All right, so shorter, but incredibly powerful.
Got 19-inch arms.
Wow.
And a 50-inch chest.
Especially for his height, that's insane.
It's an unbelievable level of muscle density.
Yeah, you can't really compare it to anyone today.
Right. And it's important to remember, these numbers are the results of years and years of hard work and dedication.
It's not just genetics, it's that constant effort.
And his competition results in the 1960s really show that dedication.
Okay, let's hear about those early wins.
So in 1966, he gets 4th place at Mr. Europe.
A respectable start.
Yeah. Then in 68, he wins most muscular at the NAA Mr. Universe and gets 2nd place in the short category.
Okay, so he's starting to make a name for himself.
And then 1969, that's his breakout year.
Oh, wow. What happened to 69?
Wins the IFBB Mr. Europe medium category.
Okay.
Wins most muscular and 1st in the short category at the NABA Mr. Universe.
So he's dominating the shorter guys.
Then wins the IFBB Mr. Universe and the IFBB Mr. World, both in the short category.
That's a clean sweep.
It was an incredible year.
He was proving himself on the biggest stages.
And in that same year, another major event happens.
Okay, what is it?
Joe Weider comes along.
The godfather of bodybuilding.
Exactly. And he sponsors both Arnold and Franco.
Wow, that's a big deal.
He gives them $80 a week to train in America.
That's a lot of money back then.
I know it sounds crazy now, but it was a huge opportunity.
It really was.
And it shows just how much potential Joe Weider saw in these two guys.
He had an eye for talent.
But their ambition didn't stop there.
I'm sensing another surprise coming.
They also launched a bricklaying and patio business.
Wait a minute. Bodybuilders and bricklayers?
At European Brickworks.
That's hilarious. I love it.
And this is also in 1969.
So they're training at the highest level and also doing manual labor.
Yeah, these guys were not afraid of hard work.
It really grounds them, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's this great part in the documentary where Arnold shows off a brick wall that they built in 1971.
Oh.
And he jokes about their lifetime guarantee and how it's still standing strong all these years later.
It's a testament to their work ethic.
Right. It's amazing to think that these future icons were out there laying bricks.
I mean, that kind of work, it builds character, it builds discipline.
Yeah, for sure. And that work ethic definitely carried over into their bodybuilding.
No doubt about it.
So now we're into the 1970s.
Okay, the decade where Franco really cements his legacy.
And he goes on this incredible winning streak.
Let's hear about some of those victories.
Okay, so 1970, he wins the IFBB Mr. Europe short category and the overall title.
Impressive.
Then he wins the AAU Mr. World Pro short category.
Okay.
The IFBB Mr. World short category.
Right.
And the IFBB Mr. Universe, again, both short category and overall.
He's unstoppable.
He even gets 2nd place at the ABB Mr. Universe short category.
So consistent.
And the wins just keep coming.
All right, keep going.
In 1971, he wins the IFBB Mr. World short division and the overall title.
Okay.
And then in 1973, he places 2nd at Mr. Olympia.
Wow, so close to the top.
Yeah, he was right there at the pinnacle of the sport.
Competing with the best of the best.
In the mid-70s, that's when he really shines at Mr. Olympia.
Okay, the big one.
1974, he wins the lightweight championship.
Right.
Defends the title in 75.
Back to back.
And then in 1976, he wins both the lightweight and the overall Mr. Olympia title.
Wow, he reached the top.
The ultimate achievement in bodybuilding.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting to hear Franco talk about how his physique developed.
Okay, what did he say?
He said, "First I was known for the chest. Then I trained for a few more years and I was known for my lats. It took a while for the whole thing to come together."
Makes sense. It's a process.
Yeah, it's not about quick fixes. It's about long-term dedication.
And building a balanced physique.
Exactly.
Which is really the hallmark of the golden era.
Yeah, they were all about symmetry and proportion.
It wasn't just about getting huge.
So we know about Franco the bodybuilder, right?
Right.
But he also had this whole other career in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. Alongside Arnold.
Exactly. Their friendship definitely opened some doors for him in the film industry.
It makes you wonder what it would have been like if they hadn't met.
Yeah, for sure.
Their paths would have been so different.
So in 1976, he's in the movie Stay Hungry.
Okay.
And then in 1977, he plays himself in Pumping Iron.
The ultimate bodybuilding documentary.
And that same year, he decides to try something completely different.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
He competes in the World's Strongest Man competition.
Wow. A bodybuilder and the world's strongest man.
Yeah, and he doesn't just compete. He finishes 5th.
That's incredible.
It's amazing to think about, right? Because his main focus was bodybuilding.
So where did that raw strength come from? Was it his bodybuilding training or something else?
Well, I think it's a combination of factors.
Okay.
His muscle density obviously gave him a lot of power.
Yeah.
But he also had this functional strength from years of heavy lifting.
Makes sense.
And his powerlifting records are insane.
Okay, what are we talking about?
525-pound bench press, 655-pound squat, and a 750-pound deadlift.
Those are some serious numbers.
Yeah, he was a powerhouse.
No doubt about it.
And you actually see some of that raw strength in plumping iron.
Oh, yeah. What do they show?
Remember the scenes in Sardinia where he lifts the back of a car and parallel parks it?
Oh, yeah, like it's nothing.
And the part where he blows up a hot water bottle just with his breath?
That's classic Franco.
It's almost unbelievable.
Like something out of a comic book.
But unfortunately, his participation in the world's strongest man came with a price.
What happened?
He suffered a really bad leg injury during the refrigerator race.
That event was notorious for injuries.
Yeah, and Franco actually describes the injury in the documentary.
Oh, wow. What does he say?
He says, dislocated. Uncomfortable, but it's not too much penny. I was doing too fast off start.
Even in describing a serious injury, he's so calm.
Yeah, and he knew it wasn't broken because he said, I'm a chiropractor myself.
There you go.
But it was bad enough to force him out of the competition.
Yeah, the strongman events can be brutal.
But it's important to remember that even before that, he had already achieved a lot in powerlifting.
Yeah, he was a champion in multiple countries.
Champion of Italy, Germany, and Europe.
A true strength athlete.
Which makes his win at the 1981 Mr. Olympia even more interesting.
Interesting, huh?
Oh, it's considered one of the most controversial wins in the history of the competition.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
First of all, it happened pretty soon after that leg injury.
Okay.
And his conditioning and muscularity were noticeably different from his prime.
So he wasn't in peak form.
And there's this quote from Tom Manor, a bodybuilding journalist.
Okay.
He calls it the greatest booing contest of all time.
Wow, the audience was not happy.
The documentary also points out that guys like Tom Platz, Roy Kender, and Danny Padilla all looked to be in better condition.
So why did Franco win?
Well, it's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
But some people felt that the other competitors just looked more competition ready.
Makes sense.
Especially Tom Platz, who is known for his incredible legs.
Yeah, and Franco had just come off that leg injury.
Exactly. And then there's the whole issue of Arnold Schwarzenegger being a promoter for the contest.
Oh, okay, that adds another layer.
Obviously, we can't say for sure if there was any bias, but it definitely raises questions.
Yeah, it's a moment in bodybuilding history that people still talk about.
And despite all the controversy, Franco kept acting throughout the 1980s.
Okay, what other movies was he in?
He had some memorable roles like Pish Scout in Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
The Future Terminator and the Terminator.
That's a classic.
And the Medic in Predator.
Wow, so he was part of some really iconic films.
Yeah, he definitely found his place in the action genre.
Makes sense with that physique.
But beyond acting, his personal life remained closely tied to Arnold's.
Yeah, their bond was something special.
He was Arnold's best man at his wedding to Maria Shriver.
Wow.
And he was even Christina's godfather.
So like family, really?
Exactly. And Franco also dedicated himself to sharing his knowledge about fitness.
Okay, so what did he do?
He wrote a training guide all about building muscle. And he even trained Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, wow. For which movie?
For Rambo, First Blood Part 2.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, he helped Stallone gain 10 pounds of lean muscle in just 6 weeks.
That's incredible results.
And then after all of that bodybuilding Hollywood,
Yeah.
he goes in a totally different direction.
Really? What did he do?
He became a chiropractor.
Wow, that's a big change.
It really shows this deeper interest in the human body.
Yeah, not just the aesthetics, but the function and healing.
Exactly. And sadly, Franco Columbu passed away on August 30th, 2019, at the age of 78.
It's a long life.
But his friendship with Arnold remained strong right up until the end.
A true testament to their bond.
And the documentary actually includes a quote from Arnold from 2016 where he says that Franco was still his favorite training partner.
After all those years, wow.
It's amazing.
It is.
And there's no doubt Franco was a true pioneer in bodybuilding.
Yeah, he really pushed the limits.
His physique, his strength, his determination, they all inspired so many people.
When you look back at his life, it's just incredible, right?
It really is.
From a Sardinian shepherd to a boxing champion to a bodybuilding icon to a Hollywood actor to a chiropractor.
And there are so many interesting moments that really stand out.
Yeah, what are some of those key takeaways?
Well, his early boxing career, it really gives you a different perspective on his later achievements.
Yeah, it shows that athletic foundation.
And then the European Brickworks venture with Arnold.
That's a classic story.
It really highlights their work ethic and their drive to succeed.
And that 5th place finish in the world's strongest man.
Especially after that injury.
It's a testament to his willpower.
And then, of course, that controversial Mr. Olympia win in 1981.
Yeah, that one will always be debated.
But I think overall, Franco Columbu's story is a great example of dedication, resilience, and just this constant pursuit of excellence.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, and it makes you think about what's possible when you really set your mind to something.
And that drive to improve yourself, not just in one area, but across different fields.
It's really fascinating.
It is, and it makes you wonder what drives someone like that.
Yeah, what is that underlying force?
Maybe it's something we can all tap into.
Maybe so.
So for the listeners out there, I think this deep dive into Franco Columbu's life, hopefully it inspires you to chase your own goals.
Yeah, and maybe it'll spark some curiosity about the golden era of bodybuilding.
Or even just make you think about the connections between physical strength and other kinds of human potential.
It's definitely a lot to think about.
It is. Franco Columbu's story is a reminder that we're all capable of achieving incredible things.
And that our potential is limitless.
Yeah, absolutely.